Are people holding on to their third generation Tacomas? You know, I'm out cruising around in my third generation Tacoma this morning, and I decided to drive by a few car lots. Now, what's funny down here in South Texas about car lots, they put gates across the entries when they're closed, and they're all closed on Sundays, so you can't drive through. You know, it's nothing like up in Ohio where I used to live. On Sundays, you could go out and kind of window shop through the car lots. There were no gates, but not down here in South Texas. So anyway, I'm out here driving around and I'm looking for Tacomas, you know. Are people getting rid of them? Are they available in the used market? And I gotta say, I didn't see one, not one Toyota Tacoma. Now, maybe they've got them under lock and key somewhere in a building in the back because they're so valuable now. I don't think so. I think people are holding on to the Tacomas for fear of the new Tacoma, or dislike of the new Tacoma, or maybe price of the new Tacoma. I don't know. And it makes me think, you know, well, what am I going to do? And people have been asking on the channel, you know, what are you going to do? Are you going to get the 24? Are you going to stick with the 23? You know, what's up, man? And I'll answer that, at least where I'm at today, because my thinking changes, honestly, as time goes on. And I decided that I'm going to hold on to this one for a little while. You know, I was all gung-ho to get the new 2024 as soon as it came out, until I saw what Toyota was doing with supply and pricing and the trim level that I want, which of course is the hybrid version. I want either, the Trail Hunter is what I wanted, but I think it's going to be priced way above what I'm willing to pay for it. So hopefully Toyota's going to offer the hybrid version in some of the lower trim levels, lower being the TRD versions, like the off-road or the sport. I know they're going to offer the hybrid in the Pro. I don't know if they're not going to have a Pro that is not the hybrid. Does that make sense? In other words, if there's going to be just a 4-cylinder turbo available in the Pro. I kind of think not. I think it's only going to be offered like the Trail Hunter, I believe, in a hybrid version, which kind of sucks. I mean, if you don't want the hybrid, then you should be able to buy the regular 4-cylinder turbo, but we shall see. So what the game plan is these days for me is to wait and see. First of all, what and when are trims going to be, different trims or models going to be available? You know, right now they're starting with, it seems, the SR, the SR5, and a few off-roads and sports. And limited. I guess everything but the Pro and the Trail Hunter, but nothing in a hybrid version. And I wonder too, you know, since they're not offering anything in the hybrid version, to me that means they're not building them yet. Are they fully designed? Is all the engineering done for those trucks? Are there any issues or problems? You know, the last that I heard is that the hybrid isn't going to be available until sometime summer. You know, I've heard rumors from late spring to late summer, so we shall see. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the fall, the way things seem to go. And I say that because I look at the new Prius that's out, right? And last year, when the redesign of that vehicle first happened, or first was available, they really didn't start to put out any cars in mass anyway until mid to late year. And then they switched over to the next model year, which is funny to me because they barely put any out, and then they switched model years and added a little bit to the price. It wasn't a lot, a couple $100, something like that. But nonetheless, kind of a strange way to do it, I think. So for me, unless it's cost prohibitive, and by that I mean I'm simply not willing to spend what Toyota is going to offer for the hybrid, it will be sometime late summer to fall before I jump on the new Tacoma. We shall see. I am not looking to do anything with an SR, SR5, or even maybe the off-road or the sport if I can't get it in the hybrid version. Now, I say maybe because I know how I am, and once eventually I start seeing these new Tacomas out there on the road and on the web and all that stuff, I probably won't be able to stand it, and I'll probably have to settle. And settle's the key word here, and it's unfortunate because I don't want to settle, but I'll have to. I'll have to settle for an off-road or a sport. I kind of go back and forth on both of those. I am a fan of the hood scoop myself. I like it. If I could have a TRD off-road and put the sport hood on it with the scoop, I think that would be the perfect combination for me. It's all personal preference, right? Be it functional, non-functional. And I don't believe the 2024 Sport is going to have a functional hood scoop. I could be wrong. I'm not positive about that. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I think, you know, maybe with this turbo version, Toyota will make it functional, if for no other reason than to feed air in to keep that thing cool. We shall see. It's going to be interesting, I think, once they're actually out in the world. As far as anything else on it, you know, the Sport versus the off-road, I have found that the Sport provides for a rougher, firmer ride, hence Sport, than the TRD off-road does, and I prefer the suspension or the ride of the TRD off-road. So that will probably be the way I go. We shall see. I don't know if they're going to be available in big numbers. You know, you keep hearing all this stuff about Toyota limiting production on them. I hope that's just a vicious rumor and not true, and that we do see an abundance of the new Tacoma out there. The one thing that you can do, of course, and I think this is why we're not seeing any Tacomas, at least here on the used car lots, is hold on to what you have. You know, I don't have to do anything. There are more mods and things to do to this truck. Lifts, different bumpers, lighting, all kinds of things that I could do to it if I decide that maybe I'm going to keep it for the long haul. Maybe I'll finally have a truck where I'll start to approach 100,000 miles, or in my case, maybe even 25,000 miles. I seem to trade them pretty frequently, but we shall see. I don't know. And the more I drive around in this truck, you know, the more I love it. I love the Tacoma anyway, but this particular year, this version is pretty much completely done. About as much as you can do to it, I think, when it comes to stock. I think Toyota has built it out as far as they could go with it, and probably has a little bit to do with why they've decided to come out with something new. They just couldn't do any more to it to continue to entice new buyers, right? So, and old buyers. I mean, you know, if you're driving one and you've been driving one for 30 years and nothing's really, 20 years, and nothing's really changed, what's your motivation to give Toyota more money and jump into a new one, right? Who knows? Anyway, I just thought that was interesting that I'm not seeing any used Tacomas on the lots down here, not even one. Leave a comment, let me know. You see any used Tacomas for sale in your area? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.